We are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 10. Here is not mentioned the title of the chapter. Does anyone know?
The trunk, branches and sub-branches of the Chaitanya tree.
Yes, the trunk, branches and sub-branches of the Chaitanya tree. Okay, verses from 155 to 158. And we will repeat the last verse because it has a purport. Hare Krishna. So I'll read translation. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed at the house of Tapana Mishra, Raghunath Bhatta, who was then a boy, washed his dishes and massaged his legs. Text 156. When Raghunatha grew to be a young man, he visited Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri and stayed there for 8 months. Sometimes he offered prasad to the Lord. Text 157. Later, by the order of Lord Chaitanya, Raghunatha went to Vrindavan and remained there under the shelter of Srila Rupa Goswami. And text 158. Tanrastane Rupa Goswami Shunena Bhagavata Prabhura Kripaya Tinho Krishna Prima Mata Tanrastane in this place Rupa Goswami Srila Rupa Goswami Shunena heard Bhagavata the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam Prabhura Kripaya by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Tinho he Krishna Preme in love of Krishna Mata always maddened. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. While he stayed with Srila Rupa Goswami, his engagement was to recite Srimad Bhagavatam for him to hear. As a result of this Bhagavatam recitation, he attained perfectional love of Krishna, by which he remained always maddened. Purport. Raghunatha Bhattacharya or Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis, was the son of Tapana Mishra. Born in approximately 1425 Shakabda, he was expert in reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, and in the Antya Lila, chapter 30, it is stated that he was also expert in cooking. Whatever he cooked would be nectarian. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was greatly pleased to accept the foodstuffs that he cooked, and Raghunath Bhatt used to take the remnants of foodstuffs left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Bhattacharya lived for 8 months in Jagannath Puri, after which Lord Chaitanya ordered him to go to Vrindavan to join Sri Rupa Goswami. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Raghunath Bhattacharya not to marry but to remain a brahmachari, and he also ordered him to read Srimad Bhagavatam constantly. Thus he went to Vrindavan, where he engaged in reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to Srila Rupa Goswami. He was so expert in reciting Srimad Bhagavatam that he would recite each and every verse in 3 melodious tunes. While Raghunath Bhatta Goswami was living with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord blessed him by offering him betel nuts offered to the Jagannath deity and a garland of tulsi said to be as long as 14 cubits. The Govinda temple was constructed by Raghunath Bhatta Goswami's order to one of his disciples. Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami supplied all the ornaments of the Govinda deity. He never talked of nonsense or worldly matters, but always engaged in hearing about Krishna 24 hours a day. He never cared to hear blasphemy of a Vaishnava. Even when there were points to be criticized, he used to say that since all the Vaishnavas were engaged in the service of the Lord, he did not mind their faults. Later, Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami lived by Radhakunda in a small cottage. In the Gaura Ganodesha Deepika, verse 185, it is said that Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami was formerly the gopi named Ragamanjari. Hare Krishna. So today we discuss a small fraction from the life of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, who was son of Tapana Mishra. Tapana Mishra was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, one of the first devotees actually, if not the very first one, that he knew that Lord Chaitanya was Supreme Personality of Godhead. When Lord Chaitanya was in his very young age, just got married as a teenager, and he was a teacher, a very proud teacher. He went to East Bengal. At that time he didn't manifest his feature as the Supreme Lord. Yes, he was still in his pastimes of being a teacher of grammar. He went to East Bengal and there he taught many people. But Tapana Mishra received some mystical information from his dreams about Lord Chaitanya and he went to Lord Chaitanya and surrendered to him. And Lord Chaitanya instructed him not to tell anyone that he's Supreme Lord. And Tapana Mishra's idea was that he will go with Lord Chaitanya to Navadvip to be always in his association. But instead of accepting him as his associate in Navadvip, he sent him to Varanasi. One could say that this is a great punishment because Varanasi is a place of impersonalists, famous place of impersonalists. There no one is a devotee. But he prepared a place, Lord Chaitanya, we should understand, he promised him, we will meet there later on. And many years had passed before Lord Chaitanya really met Tapan Mishra in Varanasi. At that time, Lord Chaitanya was already a sannyasi when he met Tapan Mishra in Varanasi. But he prepared the place that he can go somewhere in Varanasi. Otherwise, if his devotees wouldn't be there, he wouldn't have any place to be in Varanasi, because Varanasi is a place of impersonalists and he didn't want to mix with impersonalists. But he wanted to nevertheless show his mercy to impersonalists, and we know later on Lord Chaitanya delivered all these great impersonalists. Yes. So he sent him in Varanasi, and Tapana Mishra, although he was a devotee and he knew that Varanasi is not a place of devotional service, he nevertheless followed the order of Lord Chaitanya and went there just on the basis of his faith that Lord Chaitanya will really come there and meet him again. So it's so important that we imbibe this spirit of Tapana Mishra and accept the order of our spiritual master with great faith, even though it might seem to be against our interest. Yes, one would think it's against my interest to accept such an order. I will not be in touch with my spiritual master. Who knows if he will really come back? I'll be in some demoniac place. So rather I stay somewhere with devotees. Isn't it? Similarly, Prabhupada was also given such an instruction. Go to the West. There are only devotees. Yes. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi. Only Nirvishesha and Shunyavadi are there. And he came all alone. Yes. And he was really perplexed. How will these people understand anything about Krishna? They are engrossed in rajas and tamas. And we can see how many inhabitants of Paris are here now. Very few. 2 maybe. You're inhabitant of Paris?
Originally, no.
No. And you?
You're not born here.
Not born here.
In Paris. But you came in contact with Krishna consciousness in Paris?
No, in Prague.
In Prague? Yes. But at that time you were already inhabitant of Paris?
Yes.
Okay, at least one inhabitant. And you? You're inhabitant of Paris? No.
Born in New Mayapur.
Born in New Mayapur. Okay. So one of the fortunate souls. So, is anyone else inhabitant? No.
You came in contact here, right?
No, in Prague. In Czech Republic.
She was my master.
Yes.
Maybe Iran, actually. She's the only one. I mean, she's Italian, but
You're Italian.
She joined here in Paris.
You joined here in Paris, but you're not inhabitant originally of Paris.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe in Yogalidik there will be.
Few.
When you go.
They may be there. Okay, but they are not here. So in whole Paris, you can hardly find anyone interested in Krishna consciousness. How many? What is the population of Paris?
I'm gonna check.
If you take Paris region, it's 13 million. I think.
13 million.
Yeah.
Well, it's a region.
The region. Yeah.
Ile-de-France.
Okay.
Paris maybe 3 million.
But okay, just the city
Yeah.
is how much?
3 million, I think.
3 million?
Actually,
Yes.
2 million.
2 million.
2 million. Okay. Manushyanam sahasrashu kashyate vipisidhanam yatatamapi siddhanam kashyam veti tattva. Amongst many thousands, maybe one is interested in attaining perfection. And amongst those who have attained perfection, hardly anyone knows me in truth. Yes. So we can see, although we may be sent to such demoniac places where no one is interested in Krishna consciousness, still we should follow the instruction of spiritual master and make devotees ourselves. Yes, this was also instruction given by Prabhupada to his disciples when they went to Japan, I think. They said, but there are no devotees with whom we will associate. He said, make devotees and you will have association. Yes. And he also followed this idea. He went to America where no one was a devotee. No one even considered, maybe some rare special souls to not to eat meat. Yes. And they would put you in a mental asylum if you think something like this. Yes. So, yes, he came to the West and made devotees himself, and he received devotee association. Yes. So, he went to Varanasi, Lord Chaitanya, to the place of impersonalists, where no one was practically a devotee. Also, Tapana Mishra was East Bengali. He was not from Varanasi originally. So in the same situation we are here now. No one is originally from Paris. Tapana Mishra was also not originally from Varanasi. And he was somehow or other the greatest fortune for Varanasi, because Lord Chaitanya came to his place. So here we should also be the greatest fortune for Paris. And Lord Chaitanya also came here to spread Krishna consciousness. And not just Lord Chaitanya, also Radha and Krishna as Parisishvara. He came here, Supreme Lord of Paris. Yes. As Lord Chaitanya is Supreme Lord of Varanasi also. Yes. And Tapana Mishra had a very special son, extremely special son. He was one of the leading acharyas in our sampradaya, one of the 6 Goswamis from Vrindavan, Raghunath Goswami. And we should take his example to our heart. First, he was ordered to daily recite Srimad Bhagavatam. And this is also our duty. Nashta preshva bhadarshu nityam bhagavata siva bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Only by regularly serving Srimad Bhagavatam, and serving Srimad Bhagavatam means by hearing and reciting it. Yes, not just hearing it, but also glorifying it by reciting it, by speaking on it, by discussing it. These are all very important activities. One should serve Krishna by this process. And Nityam Bhagavati Seva. This seva should be Nitya, always performed. And of course, serving also great souls, like Raghunath Bhatt Goswami was serving Rupa Goswami very faithfully. And his best service was reading Srimad Bhagavatam, reciting Srimad Bhagavatam to him. So this is very important service. In I believe in Adi Lila also it is mentioned how, or it is Antya Lila, I forgot exactly the place, but I think it's Antya Lila. No, I don't know exactly. Lord Chaitanya met with Tattvavadis, followers of Madhvacharya. And the idea of perfection was that one is following the system of Varnashram Dharma and goes to Vaikuntha by satisfying the Lord. And Lord Chaitanya didn't agree with this idea. So we shouldn't harbor this idea to just to go back home, back to Godhead also. Because this is the desire for liberation actually. It's not what Lord Chaitanya is teaching us. Lord Chaitanya is teaching us to surrender to Krishna, to develop love of Krishna. And develop love of Krishna also in this world, not only after death. This is usual, we have mentioned this many times, this is usual idea of religionists to attain something after death. Now I live pious life and after death I will achieve something. Yes, this is my idea. And so I believe that death will bring us certain revolution in our consciousness, in our life. But it won't happen. Yes, it's against our philosophy, Krishna's philosophy, not our concocted philosophy. Yam yam vapisvaram bhavan tyajantyante kalevaram tantam aveti kaunta sadha tadvava bhavata. Whatever state of consciousness one has at the time of death, he will attain such a state without doubt. Yes. So, if we want to be in the spiritual world after death, we should live in spiritual world now. Yes. It's not possible death has no power to change our consciousness. Yes. Nowhere is described that death has the power to change consciousness. Nowhere. Yes. So it's so important to have proper understanding of prayojana jnana and proper understanding of sambandha jnana also. First, if we won't have these proper understandings of both, and of course also abhidaya jnana, what is the process to achieving our goal, we will miss the goal. Although we will want to go to spiritual world, but without proper understanding of sambandha, that we are just a servant and nothing else, we'll have idea of going back home, back to Godhead, in enjoying spirit. Yes, I want to go to spiritual world because I will enjoy there. I want to get rid of sufferings in this world. I suffer too much. I want just to go to the spiritual world and enjoy, finally enjoy in peace. But this is desire for enjoyment, not for service. And if we don't have very strong sambandha jnana, it's natural that we'll harbor such a desire. It's not possible to not to desire such a thing, because it's our nature to be happy. Anandamayo bhyasat. This is our very nature. We cannot avoid it. We cannot deny it. Therefore, Krishna consciousness is not something artificially imposed on us, but is bringing up everything what is natural for the soul. Yes. We should also understand this, because it's also natural to serve. We discussed this, how everyone is serving, even knowingly or unknowingly. In most selfish person is serving all the time, 24 hours a day. If nothing else, he serves his body. Yes, very faithfully. Yes. From morning till evening, and by sleeping also. Yes. So one should very thoroughly understand sambandha jnana, abhidaya jnana, and prayojana jnana. So our sambandha is to be a servant. And it's very difficult to accept this simple truth in this world, to be just a servant of everyone, because everyone is expansion of Krishna. Yes. So therefore Lord Chaitanya so much put such emphasis on Trinada Pisunichana Tururivasa Krishnana Amanina Manadina Kirtanasdahari. We cannot approach Krishna with proud heart, if there is a tinge of pride in our heart. No. We are entitled only to service. And a servant is not entitled to anything. Yes. He's not entitled to be honored. He's not entitled to consider his needs even. Of course, the master should consider the needs of his servants, but he's not entitled to. The servant cannot demand anything from his master. Yes, he can just pray for service. And therefore we should understand everyone is a servant. Not even one is exemption from this rule. Yes, to be a servant. And if we would just know this point, really, we would be happy, even now, because this is our natural position. We wouldn't complain about anything, because we would know, yes, my master, maybe today he didn't call me to take prasad. For example, Ekadashis are something like this. Jai Shri Shri Gauranitai ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Parizishwar ki Jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mayi ki Jai. Ekadashis are example of this. Lord recommends fasting, and it's pleasing to him. Yes, dearest to Vishnu. It's Ekadashi. Of course, service is most important, and if we cannot serve by keeping complete fast, we can take Ekadashi Prasad. But if we can serve without any problem with fasting, complete fasting, why we should take Ekadashi Prasad? Yes. It's not needed, actually, because Lord ordained fasting. And if you are able to serve very nicely without Ekadashi Prasad, we can serve. Why would crave for Prasad then on Ekadashis, for example? This is just an example that we understand that Lord's pleasure is important, not my pleasure, not my satisfaction. Yes. And therefore this Sambandha Gyan is so important. Yes, I exist only for Lord's pleasure. Everything exists only for Lord's pleasure. Lord emanates everything from himself just for his pleasure, not for any other purpose. Yes. So we exist only for Lord's pleasure. So if I protest against anything, against any situation, it means that I didn't understand Sambandha Gyan properly, that I don't understand Sambandha Gyan. Yes, because I should know, Lord is my master, and he takes care of me. And if I suffer, the Lord is the one who sends me this suffering for my betterment. Yes. And if I accept it like this, then I will be blissful, even during my suffering. Yes. And we can see so many examples from Chaitanya Charitamrita, from the living example of Lord Chaitanya. Yes. Apparently, he hurt many people, Lord Chaitanya also. For example, Gadadhar Pandit wanted to go to Vrindavan with the Lord, but Lord didn't allow him. And Gadadhar Pandit was prepared to give up his vow of Kshetra Sannyas, of living permanently in Jagannath Puri and worshipping the deity of Tota Gopinath, just to accompany Lord Chaitanya to Vrindavan. And although his Radharani himself, who is Vrindavaneshwari, the queen of Vrindavan, he was not allowed to go to Vrindavan in his whole life. The queen of Vrindavan was forbidden to go to Vrindavan. But we know that he finally accepted the Lord's wish, Gadadhar Pandit, and he experienced the highest bliss, of course. We should also accept the Lord's wish in any way possible. So, Lord representatives are the personalities from whom we can understand the Lord's wish. We shouldn't have our own idea what is the Lord's wish, because this is also the tendency of conditioned souls, that they interpret, yes, I believe Lord wishes this for me because it's pleasing to my mind. Yes. Therefore, it's crucial to accept the spiritual master. And this idea of Ritvik idea is crazy. It's sheer cheating religion. Dharma projita ketavatra paramo nirmatsaranam satam. And Srimad Bhagavatam kicks out all these cheating religion ideas. Because how you will know if something is pleasing to your imagined spiritual master? Yes, you will know by it's pleasing to me, yes, therefore it must be pleasing to my spiritual master. And of course we know from Shastra that this is ridiculous. It's outrightly ridiculous. For one who has a drop of or a speck of sincerity, it's completely ridiculous. So Guru is one who is heavy, actually. The word Guru means heavy. So we should accept his instruction with our heart and soul. And Prabhupada mentions the purport and commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in the second chapter of Bhagavad-gita. Vyavasayatmika buddhire keha kurunandana bhusha kahyanantascha buddha-yogo vyavasayanam. That those who are resolute on this path, they have one goal, and they pursue it with great determination and faith. But those who are not resolute, their mind is many-branched. They want many different things in their life, for their satisfaction, of course. And Prabhupada quotes Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that he says that this verse, to have one-pointed determination, is to accept the instruction of a spiritual master as one's life and soul. Yes. So maybe the Guru's instruction is something that's not so pleasing for us, or maybe by following his instruction we will not be glorified by others very much. And conditioned soul would like to be glorified by others, or recognized at least to be something special. Yes, we want to be something special. And therefore, if we are instructed in such a way that it's not conducive to our ideas, we don't like such instructions. But we should accept them very, very, very seriously. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also ordered Raghunath Bhatta Goswami not to marry, but to remain brahmachari. This can be very hard instruction for someone, isn't it? Yes. To remain brahmachari for life. It's not easy. Especially if we have this inclination to marry. Yes. And he also instructed him not to leave his parents. Yes, to stay with his parents and take good care of his father and mother. And he followed this instruction until his parents passed from this world. And then he went to Jagannath Puri. Here it says for 8 months. And then Lord Chaitanya sent him to Vrindavan. So he was again bereft of Lord's association, we can say. But still he followed it and went to Vrindavan and became a servant of Rupa Goswami. So yes, we should take this great example from these great souls, how to, what's important in life, how to shape our life properly, what's important and what's not. Yes, this is so important. Otherwise, we'll be cheated. We'll be cheated. Yes. So we should take these orders of Lord very seriously. And of course, his representatives. And as a result of this Bhagavatam recitation, he attained perfectional love of Krishna, by which he remained always maddened. It is mentioned here. So if we just follow the instruction of our spiritual master, we will attain perfectional love of Krishna, by which we will remain always maddened. Yes. And this is the actual goal of life, to become mad in love of Krishna. Not just to become mad, but to be mad in love of Krishna. Yes, this is the perfection of life. And doesn't matter if we live in this world or not. Then for such a devotee, it doesn't matter. I live where my Lord wants me to live. Yes, if I live in Paris or in Slovenia or in India, in Vrindavan or in the United States, doesn't matter. I just want to please my Lord, my master. And actually only in such a way we can live actually in Vrindavan. Otherwise we cannot live in Vrindavan. Even if we are physically there, if we don't please our spiritual master, we don't live in Vrindavan. Yes. Because Vrindavan is not a material place. Yeah. So we can be materially there, but actually we are not there. We have no access to Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is the place of love, of service. And if we act against service to Krishna, and service to our spiritual master is service to Krishna. So, therefore, Narottam Das Thakur is praying that this visiting of holy places is some kind of a trick. So we should create Vrindavan in our heart. This is most important message of Narottam Das Thakur and Lord Chaitanya also. Although he wanted to go to Vrindavan, on the request of his mother, he went to Jagannath Puri instead. And he remained there till the end of his life. And we know from Chaitanya Charitamrita that he saw Vrindavan in Jagannath Puri all the time, actually. And when he saw Jagannath Baladeva Subhadra, he saw Krishna standing in threefold standing pose, Tribhagna, playing his flute. Yeah. It's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And when he saw this sand dune, great sand dune, he mistake it for Govardhan. And he was running there. So for him, for his vision, it was really Govardhan. He didn't mistake it. It was Govardhan. And the Samudra, the ocean, was really Yamuna. Yeah. So, external manifestation of some matter has no influence on spiritual existence. Yes, and spiritual existence is all pervading, is everywhere present. So we should eternally live in Vrindavan now. Not that this is something promised after death. No, we should create Vrindavan in our heart and should constantly live in Vrindavan. And this is the essence of all advice by Rupa Goswami. Tishtam vrajeta tanaragi jananugami kalam nayeta kilamit upadesha saram. Yes. Saram means the essence. Upadesha means instruction. And Upadesha saram is certainly the essence of all instruction. Tishtam vrajeta tanaragi jananugami. To always live in Vrindavan and follow the example of the Vrajvasis. But we cannot create Vrindavan in our heart if we have this jaundice of avidya in our heart. And this is mentioned one verse before, that by constantly chanting and hearing about the Lord's holy name and glorifying His activities and form, beautiful form, we will uproot this deep disease of avidya, of ignorance in our heart. And the basic ignorance is forgetfulness that we are just a servant. Yes. So until and unless we don't uproot this idea of being a master to anyone, or to think that something is, I'm entitled to complain about anything, I will not be able to create Vrindavan in my heart. Yes. And I will not be able to follow the example of the inhabitants of Vrindavan. So therefore we can see how important it is to understand this basic sambandha gyan, that I'm just a servant. In every situation, I'm just a servant of the servant of the servant. And this is the only designation that Lord Chaitanya identified with. Yes. Gopi Bhartu Padakamali Dasa Dasa Dasa. Yes. We should be imbibe this mentality in whatever social role we are in. Either we are temple presidents or temple commanders or fathers or mothers or presidents of the United States. Doesn't matter. We should understand, yes, I'm just a servant of the servant. And of course I follow the instruction of my spiritual master. Yes. This is a proper understanding of being a servant. And see in everyday situation, because the spiritual master is not always with us. Uttamash chintitan kuryat proktakari tu madhyamaha. Atma shradaya kuryat atamo shradaya atamo uttamash chintitan kuryat proktakari tu madhyamaha. Adamo shradaya kuryat akarto charitam pitu. Yes. Those who understand the father's heart or guru's heart and perform the activities without being instructed, they are the best disciples. Those who perform what they are instructed to do with great faith and determination, they are second-class disciples. Those who perform the activity, but they don't trust really that this is of any good, but they do perform, they're the lowest. Adamo shradaya kuryat. If they perform something without shraddha. Adamo shradaya kuryat. Akarto charitam pitu. But those who don't perform, even if they are instructed, they're like stool. Yes. Hare Krishna. Yes. So, one should understand. I should follow the instruction, and I try to understand the proper mood of my spiritual master, proper mood of Krishna. And even when my master, my direct master, is not with me, I serve every manifestation of Krishna. That means other living entities, his external energy also, in every regard possible. Only then we can uproot this avidya from our heart. Otherwise it's not possible. It's just the child's play. Yes. It's just a show to satisfy our mind and senses. And this is typical cheating religion of modern world. Only few are interested in something genuine. Yes. So we can see how many inhabitants of Paris are here. Not so much. Hardly any, if any, really. Yes. They're not interested because people are interested in cheating religion. Yes. Prabhupada was once asked, if this is the highest, why everyone doesn't join your movement? And he said that the place where the real diamonds are sold is not crowded. Where these artificial diamonds are sold, there are many customers. But where these rarest jewels, which are most expensive, there are only a few customers. So we shouldn't be the customers of this artificial jewelry. We should collect all wealth we can have and give it for this rare jewel, a pristine jewel of Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Is there any comment or doubt? Question?
There is a question.
Yes.
I did ask 2 questions yesterday.
Yes.
Today you were saying to follow the mood of spiritual master, like we are following the mood of Krishna. And sometimes we have a spiritual master, we have one Diksha Guru and many Siksha Gurus.
Yes.
And they have different mood.
Yes.
Like someone is more on chanting or someone is more on book distribution.
Yes.
Just example. And in that case, what to, like sometimes also there we may find some contradiction. It's not like contradiction like against Srila Prabhupada, but just the mood is different.
Yes.
And in that case, what we should do or what should be our approach?
Yes. This is a good question, because we can have many gurus, not just one, in our life. But is there also instruction that we should associate with devotees who share the same mood? Because then we will not be confused and will not be advised to do something against our nature. Because if we are on lower stages of devotional service, engaged in the service which is against our nature, we will suffer. Our mind will not be peaceful, and we can also commit offenses, which is not beneficial for my spiritual path at all. So it is good first to accept our Diksha Guru, the one who is close to my nature. And then also Shiksha Gurus who are there in our life. We should approach especially for some advice and instruction those who are close to our nature. Yes. But if there is some authority that instructs us in certain way, if we believe that this might not be the best, genuinely, not because we are lazy, we should consult our initiating spiritual master and then follow his instruction as our life and soul. But otherwise, if it is not against our principles, such instruction given to us by our authority, immediate authority, in some temple, for example, we should follow gladly. And we should understand that every service is for Krishna's pleasure. So, how happy I am that I can serve Krishna. Even in this way that is not maybe completely in line with my nature. But in any case, I have to serve 24 hours a day, even if I'm an atheist. So, the mind is only complaining because it's not his way. You understand? The mind's way. But it has to perform some service. Yes. In any case. For example, I'm a marathon runner, for example. But one who is not trained in marathon, this marathon would be extreme torture for him. Yes. But for one who is trained, it's still hard if he wants to run fast. But it's not such great torture. But I wanted to say that in any case we have to do something. We cannot be without activity. Nahi kashit kshanamapi jatutishtatya karmakrit. Karateh yavashek karma sarvaprakriti jayagunai. Lord Krishna explains in 3rd chapter of Bhagavad-gita that one cannot be inactive even for a moment. So we always perform some activity. And therefore, we should follow the instructions of our superiors with happy heart. But if something is completely against our principles, of course, if we are instructed to do something that is sinful, it's disservice if we do it. It's against the principles. We shouldn't do it. For example, there are different kind of abuses also in our society. But we should not follow the instruction if they're against the principles. Yes, even if given by some high authority. Yes. So we should be careful not to be blind follower or to be frightened follower, because one who is surrendered to Krishna is abhayam, is fearless, and he's fearless about his future. Because why do people do things that they don't want to do and they don't believe in them? Because they're afraid about their future. What will happen to me if I don't follow this? Yes. And this is, of course, lack of Krishna consciousness. The devotee doesn't do anything against his principles, even if he is killed. His body is killed. No problem. Yes. I just want to please you, my Lord. Yes. Therefore, it's important to understand this, again, Sambandha Gyan. I'm just a servant, but I'm ultimately the servant of the Lord. and he instructs the principles. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Only the Lord sets the principles that we should follow, and of course also his pure representatives. Therefore we should know Shastra ourselves. We shouldn't be spiritually lazy and just depend on others to explain us what is wrong and what is not. This is not abhidaya gyan, the knowledge about our path, because our path is described in Chatur Shloki of Bhagavatam. Etavat eva jigyasan tatva jigyasunatana anvaya vyatirikabhyam yat syat sarvatra sarvada. That in all circumstances we should search for the truth. Yes. And directly and indirectly. Yes. And at all times. So we should not be ignorant. We should search for the truth all the time. Yes. So we should know Shastra, because only Shastra can tell you what's true and what's not. Yes. Therefore we should regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam, Nityam Bhagavata-seva. Because Bhagavatam is the ultimate truth. Because it's Amala Purana. Yes. Did this answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
I hope so. Hare Krishna. You had a question?
Yeah. You mentioned about Gadadhar Pandit, who was rejected somehow to follow Lord Chaitanya. I wanted to understand better the internal reasons for that.
Internal reasons.
Yeah.
The internal reason is that Lord Chaitanya plundered Krishna from Vrindavan, plundered all the wealth of Radharani. And he plundered her mood, her complexion, everything. And so he appeared on the full moon, on Purnima. Otherwise, Krishna appeared on Ashtami, Janmashtami. And Radharani also appeared on Ashtami. So they both are one full moon. But Lord Chaitanya appeared on full moon, and Gadadhar Pandit appeared on new moon, where there is no moon, because he was plundered of his wealth. And therefore he was plundered also from his kingdom, which is Vrindavan. And he just longed, his whole life he was longing. And this is also very instructive for us. We should also be servants of Radharani, actually, ultimately. And as long as we are in this world, we are part of Chaitanya Lila. And therefore we serve, in this regard, we serve Radharani, who is Gadadhar Pandit, to alleviate her pain of not being in Vrindavan, and who is bereft also of this attention of Krishna. Yes, because and she was bereft also of his mood, of her mood. We know that Radha has this Vamya Bhava, and she's contrary to Krishna's advancement, although she's craving for them. But Gadadhar Pandit is extremely submissive. Yes, just the opposite. He has the mood of Rukmini from Dwaraka. Yes, although he is Radharani herself. Yes, So, therefore, although Gadadhar Pandit was most dear to Lord Chaitanya, he was forbidden going to Vrindavan. Yes. To remain, that he could experience this longing all the time. So we can also enter this longing mood and craving for Vrindavan, for inner Vrindavan actually. And also in this regard to offer our service to Gadadhar Pandit. Yes, in this mood. Hare Krishna. Is this okay?
It's deep.
Okay. Anything else? Grantaraj, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.